I'm really glad about the things you said about the potential of the Hungarian wine industry. Obviously, I'm Hungarian, and this is one of my goals to try to help the Hungarian wine industry to maybe help pull some investments and to try to find a way, because this, like the legend of Tokaj, which is obviously a fantastic thing, and we really love it and appreciate it. I think it's a bit makes us behind, or it draws a huge shadow on the other parts of the Hungarian wine industry where we have huge potential. And obviously Tokaj being such a niche wine, a sweet wine, like for special occasions, it cannot bring like huge customer base, or it cannot be like so popular. So what would you suggest? Where do you see potential to adjust? You mentioned Kék Frankos as an interesting wine. What should the Hungarian wine industry do in winemaking, viticulture, or in marketing, as you are really well versed in?
So I think one of the problems that we have in the world at the moment is that people generally aren't drinking much sweet wine.
Yeah.
It's really gone down a lot. I barely ever drink it. I love it, but I don't have it. I have 3 bottles in my wine rack that have been there for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I just don't find an occasion for it. So I think it's the same as a lot of countries in Europe in general, Central Europe. Simplify. Make it easy to understand. Make it clean. Don't try and compete with Sauvignon Blanc, for example, because you can't. Sauvignon Blanc is basically a brand in itself. So
yeah,
I think there's no point trying to counteract that and try and take its position. You need to come from a slightly different angle. Georgia tried with orange wines. Didn't quite work perfectly because not that many people like orange wines.
It's too niche.
It's too niche. And then at the same time, Riccazzitelli, it's not easy to say, it's not easy to read. It's a bit of a problem. Now, I'd say potentially Kék Frankos is the same as that. At the same time, you have Egri Bigaver, which is also, I guess, it's quite difficult to say. And you could write bull's blood, but there is a bad connotation with that and the 80s and poor quality wine.
Yeah.
So that needs to be left behind. I'd suggest trying to come up with, so I mean, this is on a kind of, an appellation level, trying to come up with something I think appellations should sometimes be treated as businesses, because appellations and the governing bodies, basically they need to be doing everything they can to increase the commercial success of that region. So if you're going to give it a name, make sure it's a name which is easy, that is relatable, that's understandable. It can be like 4 letters. It can be in Hungarian. That's not a problem. But I think for me, the big question is, how do you make it so that someone that doesn't speak your language, because let's be honest, not many people do speak. I can say, a few words like bor and kishinom, and that's my limit. And I don't think anyone else would know anything. And so how do you translate that, what you have, into a format that can be understood well by someone in a different country? Because people in England, no offense to everyone in England, but we are terrible at languages. Really, really, really bad. And it's very difficult, and it's a bit uncomfortable for them sometimes when they see something that they don't understand, because it's not familiar. So familiarity is the big thing. Make it something, France is okay because we've had French wines for how many years? Hundreds, okay? With a wine like, from Hungary, you need to find a unique, USP. You need to get in there with something which people can relate to, people could understand, and that is welcoming and inviting. I don't have the answers to all these questions, but I know that there is interest. Now, people have interest in wines. They want to try things, they want to explore, but you basically need to work from the very bottom to get people comfortable with it. Once they're comfortable, then you can go on.
Thanks for watching this video. You can watch the full podcast episode by clicking here, or watch another interesting video by clicking here. Let's continue the discussion in the comment section, and see you in the next one.